In today's video, we're going to be rebuilding the Seattle Seahawks. New head coach Mike McDonald, it's a new era for the Seahawks as they take a team who has a fair mix of star players, but a major question mark long-term about who their franchise quarterback is. Well, I'm here to tell you that we're going to try and gamble on Sam Howell, and things get pretty nice. But do they get nice enough that we can bring another Super Bowl to Seattle? Let's find out. Let's start off by recapping Mike McDonald's first draft in the NFL. The 2024 draft class was solid for the Seahawks. Not necessarily a home run. They're a team that it literally they have like one of the all-time drafts every 5 to 6 years, and then a bunch of like kind of mid drafts. I don't want to say this is a mid draft. Wasn't a home run, that is for sure, especially in the eyes of Bengals draft class. Here we got depth tackle, 2 SEC corners here, Pritchett and James should give us some nice depth. Knight in the 4th round out of UTEP was certainly a little bit of a reach, but kind of is what it is. The other 2 picks though were great. We got Christian Haynes, the guard out of UConn, who might very well challenge for some starting reps as a rookie. I'm going to be looking at maybe the left guard spot potentially, not so much at right guard. And the big pick in the 1st round, the D lineman out of Texas, Byron Murphy. Now, I don't know where he's going to play in the front 3. I don't know if they're going to keep him a D tackle, if they're going to kick him over to defensive end. Has the pass rushing tools to play defensive end in this scheme, but it is certainly a versatile player, high upside. Really do like the pick. And hey, if a great defensive mind like Mike McDonald says you're going to be very good, probably going to be very good. So take a look at our depth chart as we start year 1 here with the Seattle Seahawks. Interesting offense. Now, Bradford is a guard. I think for the sake of Madden, this thing, we're going to move him into center just so we can start. We have Haynes at right guard, the veteran Lakin Tomlinson coming over from the Jets at left guard. But I think Cross, high ceiling, could be here for the whole rebuild. Abe Lucas, high ceiling, could be here for the whole rebuild. Honestly, same with Haynes and Bradford. We got Tomlinson on a 1-year rental. It'll likely be Bradford and Hayes long-term at guard, or at least as long as we can go. So that'll be interesting. They got Noah Fant back on a 2-year deal. He's solid. Long-term, don't know, but he's solid. Skill position spots, we feel pretty damn good. Got a hell of a 1-2 punch here with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. That is an interesting decision because I think there is value on the trade market for one of these two. And I'm probably leaning towards keeping Kenneth Walker because he's an absolute beast. Charbonnet's a great 1-2 punch. It's just there's a limited ceiling to having 2 good running backs as far as Madden 24 franchise mode goes. And if we can get a good offer for Charbonnet, maybe we'll be interested in kicking the tires. We got Tyler Lockett back on a somewhat short-term deal. DK Metcalf, unfortunately with DK, is that, we need this offense, right? We got a very interesting offense. We got the OC from the Washington Huskies, who were the most prolific passing offense in college football last year. He went to Alabama, followed the head coach of Alabama, took a late U-turn to come back up and join the Seahawks. So, one would think that all these guys are going to eat. Lockett, is probably our least of the concerns because he's, closest on his way out. But DK and JSN, if we can get, an offense that gets fired on all cylinders, that's going to be huge. Quarterback, we got Geno Smith, and they made the trade for Sam Howell. I'm going to be honest. I think we have a natural successor in place. Geno Smith will start this year, and I believe this is the final year of his contract. He's only has 1 left, so you have Geno Smith play this year. Honestly, if Geno's not looking particularly good, we got Sam Howell. I'm a Sam Howell believer. Now, obviously things didn't work out with the Commanders, but I still think there is potential. Definitely needs refinement, but I see a scenario where Sam Howell can be, at least, especially in the eyes of Madden, I definitely see a scenario where we can make Sam Howell really, really good. Especially if we can get this offense popping up. I think in real life, Sam Howell could be like a Gardner Minshew type. He could be a guy or like a Case Keenum where you don't really want to build your franchise around him, but if it's a down year and you don't have any other quarterbacks, I think Sam Howell could be a solid starter. And, I think that's a nice review, and I think that's how I kind of view this offense right now. Is clearly Geno Smith is not the long-term option, and rather already thinking about, what college quarterbacks are in 2025 or starting to hoard as many first-round picks as we can to try to get a generated quarterback later on. My plan right now is let's just see if we can let Sam Howell potentially be the guy because he has the intangibles and traits that look pretty good. All he needs is maybe a dev trait role here or there. On the defensive side, we're going to give Murphy the opportunity to start here on this defensive line. Now, this is what the Seahawks defense, it's what it looks like, right? But Madden has a glaring bug, glaring issue with 3-4 sim, so we are going to have to switch things around to a 4-3. So here's kind of how I imagine their defense lining up in a 4-3. So we're going to have Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, and Jared Reed inside a D-tackle. Mafe and Jones at pass rush. Now, Jones at like 280 pounds. Think he gives us a little bit of scheme versatility as a 3-4-4-3, which is good. Wosu's the only guy I'm going to kind of have be that like tweener pass rush. He's like 250 pounds on the dot, which is undersized for like a 4-3 pass rushers. So we're going to kind of have him be a little bit of a hybrid with Baker and Dotson being primarily on the field like in nickel, which I think is going to be the long-term plan. We got Julian Love and Kevon Wallace. We probably might want to go with the younger guy here in Kobe Bryant, a couple years longer than Wallace, but obviously gigantic changes for the safety room for the Seattle Seahawks, where last year, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs. It's quite the drop-off. I mean, Love is solid, but I definitely think the strength of this secondary is in the corner room. We have Devin Witherspoon, 84-star, Tariq Woolen, 86-star. Seems like I don't know what the hell's going on with the Seahawks last year with Tariq Woolen, but hopefully Mike McDonald can reignite the great GOAT height, weight, speed corner in the NFL. And as far as Madden is concerned, he's going to be an absolute beast. We got Mike Jaxon, who is a solid depth player as well. So all in all, I mean, definitely annoying that Madden 24 sim is broken when it comes to a 3-4 defense, because all these 10-year rebuilds, seems like more often than not, they are base 3-4 teams. It just doesn't work. It's busted. I've talked about it before where like it's glitched in the sim numbers where like the D-line's just all sorts of broken. So unfortunately, got to slightly pivot here, but still happy with how the defense looks, but still plenty of work to do. Both sides of the ball for this Seahawks team to be really competitive. So let's get into year one. This is a little bit of a dub. Tyler Lockett, the old head in the wide receiver room, wanting to work with JSN, who we're going to need him to pop off. He's going to be our starting slot wide receiver, so I think he has a good opportunity to force feed. I mean, I do want to not slight Tyler Lockett, but in a perfect world, he's kind of our third option. You definitely want DK and JSN, the guys with the most upside for the long-term stability of this rebuild, to kind of pop off more so than the old head, and happy that we're getting a little bit of a bump here by having him on the roster as a mentor. He also got a training camp stand-up from Boy Mafe, who that is good. He thrived and broke out last year in a 3-4, switching to a 4-3. You want to see that continue, and he is going to have to be one of our go-to guys. I'm looking at a guy that could potentially get double-digit sacks here. All right, things are looking a little rough. Midway point, 2-5, definitely below expectations, which means the natural transition should happen. Let's at least see what we can get from Sam Howell. See if that sparks the offense a little bit here to close out the regular season. Look at our contracts, $45 million available. Definitely going to be picking up the fifth-year option of Charles Cross. It's interesting. It's a lot of money for Jerome Baker, but it's also kind of keeping him for the remainder of his prime, which I don't hate. See if he takes that. Get him locked in 4 years. Julian Love, another guy. That's a lot of money, though. But 2683 is good rating. Maybe I'm sleeping on Julian Love. Thought he was just kind of a okay player. That's a real good rating. I also wonder, though, can I get cheaper? Because $15 million for Julian. I think we'll save some money here. We're getting another swing at a breakout player. This is free safety Kobe Bryant, converted corner, with an opportunity here against the Bills to get off the normal dev trait. We also got a gigantic opportunity, Sam Howell, on the normal dev, in-season dev trade opportunity against the Bills. 1 or fewer picks, 300 scrimmage yards, or 3 total touchdowns. Tough assignment, but that would be huge for this rebuild going forward if we can hit this. All right, unfortunately, we lose to the Bills. Tough game. Let's get the quarterback breakout out. Unlikely we hit this. Damn it. Oh, that would have been huge. I'll tell you what, if we can get at least one, can we break even? And not get 0 for 2. 0 for 3 breakout scenarios this season. And hey, there we go. Kobe Bryant, the 25-year-old, gets himself a dev trait. Ooh, week 15. A little bit of a shootout, 42-34. Record's kind of in the shits, 6-8. Probably not making the playoffs, but we're trying to figure out this offense. And Sam Howell throwing up a 5-ton performance, week 15. It's a sign of things to come, showing his ceiling. By the end of year one, I think changing mid-season to Sam Howell was a dub for the squad. But ultimately, we go 7-10. Offense looks good. Defense, work in progress. It's not the natural Mike McDonald 3-4. So I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack with how things played out there on the D side. And we did get an award winner in Kenneth Walker, the top running back in the NFC. Looking at the stats, at quarterback, pretty even between Sam Howell and Geno Smith, which at least makes me feel like I made the right decision going with the younger quarterback with more upside. However, I don't know if this is going to be good enough to get Sam Howell off the normal dev. And then you almost got to question if we just said, screw it, let's not go kind of with what the plan would be in real life and just make Sam Howell the starter right away. Maybe we have got that dev trait. So, trying to keep things realistic might have hurt us a little bit. That's probably the easiest way to break it down. Sam Howell is going to be our guy going forward, though. Looking at the running backs, the running back of the year, Kenneth Walker, 1,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, average almost 100 a game is absolutely huge. It's going to be good that we have that consistency. We can rely on the run game as we try to figure out the quarterback spot. But it helps having two beasts. DK Metcalf, 71 catches, 1,300 yards, and 14 touchdowns. 12-12 for JSN, 8-2 for Lockett, 6-5 for Noah Fant. The passing offense, real happy with that. That is looking pretty damn good. Defensively, Jerome Baker and Dotson, the two free agent linebackers that came over in free agency, were tackle machines. We got 10 sacks from Mafe on 13 TFLs, 10 TFLs, 7.5 sacks for Chenowoshu, 6.5 Draymond Jones, 5 for Leonard Williams, 4 for the rookie Byron Murphy. Got to get him going. We had Leonard Williams as a starter at D-tackle. Maybe that's the slight discrepancy there. But I'd like to see a little bit more production. 3 picks, Mike Jaxon Sr. Did not expect that with Kobe Bryant, who had 2 and went up dev trait, and with 2 studs in Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon. I'd love to see those interception numbers be a little higher. So on the offense, as we close out the year, we don't get the dev trait on Sam Howell, but we get the jump from superstar up to an X factor for Kenneth Walker. DK keeps his X factor, and from superstar up to an X factor, we get the increase on JSN, who we might as well just make him wide receiver 2. Defensively, no big movers, if you will. Byron Murphy was hidden dev. He is a star. I thought Mafe might have had a chance to go up dev trade. He remained the same, but both. Baker was a star, I think. Dotson was normal. He makes the jump up to a star. Kobe Bryant obviously hit that dev trade in season. Mike Jaxon goes from normal up to a star, so a full silver defense. There's worse things you could be at come, the beginning of year 2. So how we want to improve this squad going into the offseason, we need a starting center, but I'm fine kind of rock and rolling with everyone else on the offensive side of the ball. Perhaps a trade, see if we can get some good value for Charbonnet. I don't know, maybe put that trade up during the draft or something like that. Defensively, we need a safety. I already in the projection of how the 2025 draft is going to look. I'm telling you right now, Malachi Starks is a stud, the safety out of Georgia. Caleb Downs, another one. There's 2 really big safeties in 2025 I would love to perhaps draft in the first round. Did just want to check free agency, make sure we're not sleeping on a stud that can come in. Molden 26 with a dev trait, not bad. We're looking for more of a strong safety. Julian Love is the top available guy. Got some veterans there, but definitely looking like the draft's going to be our best course of getting a stud. So getting an idea where these safeties are going in relation to where we're picking. We fully scouted Caleb Downs, should be available at our pick. First round talent, so that looks pretty freaking good. We have Sonny Styles, another big time safety, going to be in range for us to potentially get. We are picking at 10. Malachi Starks is going at 6. He's the top 5 in true talent. I really want him. I've yet to use him in any of my rebuilds. He's an absolute stud. Pittsburgh didn't pick up the 5th-year option on the running back, did they? Maybe they'd pick 10, Zach Charbonnet, Geno Smith, huh? All right, we were able to make it happen. Zach Charbonnet, 75, dev trade running back, our first-round pick and 4th-round pick to jump up 4 spots in the first round. And with that trade, Malachi Starks, welcome to something that we hope can resemble the great Legion of Boom 2.0. Stud. Second round, we get a real nice tight end prospect here, Mitchell Evans. No offense in the final year of his contract. We're probably at that weird awkward, like he's at his ceiling. So I think the fact that really good tight ends available here, we got to do everything in our power. We don't have to rush him. If he's not good enough to start right away, we don't have to worry about keeping that dev trade up. But I think there's going to be a higher ceiling here. Now we have to make sure now the next pick is a really good center. We're just going to hold our breath. Parker Brailsford is the guy I want to get. Same offense as our OC. Should still be there. He is. Let's go. Undersized, Jason Kelsey-esque. but arguably one of the best young centers. And I thought for sure there was going to be a dev trait there. God damn it. So draft recap, very good. Everybody 70 plus. Mark Nabu, depth lineman in the 7th round. We got Jaden Ott because we traded away our RB2. You still want to have a little bit of cover there, and he's a really, really productive running back, formerly in the Pac-12. Brailsford, 71. Real bummed out between him and Evans, 73 and 71 respectively. Good ratings, no dev traits, which is kind of butt cheeks. But we are able to trade up at a big-time position in a need and get a top 5 true talent player in the class, Malachi Stark, 79 with a dev trait. I will say in his very first training camp, as our starter, we got good growth and development as Sam Howell. +2 play action, deep, short accuracy, +3 deep accuracy is huge. And then at the final point, we get +1 throw power, awareness, and play action. He got 2 overall points. So all it is now is him to not suck, to play well, and get out this damn normal dev trait by the end of year 2. So the midway point of year 2, 3-3, which is could be better. Offense is playing well. Defense, I'm good with the rankings with where we're at. Still a work in progress. We're still definitely, not out of wild card into the NFC, which is pretty fair. And the good news is that we have $175 million salary cap. The bad news is we got to pay a lot of guys. But in that, Geno Smith's going to be gone, so that is huge savings as we commit to Sam Howell. I'm going to say it's probably going to be the end of Tyler Lockett. We just don't long-term need an expensive wide receiver 3. Now, if we had extra money, sure. I think it's time to move on from Larry Williams, $60 million. I mean, I will say if he pops off, things could get a little interesting. But we're going to commit with Sam Howell here. It's quite the commit. All right? But there's a reason for this. And that is the quarterbacks in this year's draft class also don't look particularly good. Baker has some A's, but doesn't have the elite throw power, which is not a must, but it's kind of something you really want. We have Earl Springs out of Georgia. A short, A throw under pressure. Potentially has elite throw power. One to watch, but he's a scrambler type. Those guys are very much throwing the risk all at the wall, and hopefully it sticks, and you get yourself a quarterback. The top quarterbacks in this draft, we have William Harding, the scrambler out of Washington State. Top 5 projection, A short, A throw under pressure, B medium, B deep. So not the most accurate. Potentially has elite and throw power, but this would be the kind of pick that you would have to sabotage multiple drafts to go get him. Feels like it might be easier just to commit with Sam Howell. So while I do think in a perfect world we could wait to the end of the year, see if, let's be honest, Sam Howell, if I'm paying him $167, $30 million a year, I almost need the amount of touchdowns his cap hit is, right? 30 minimum. I'd love to see a ceiling of 35 plus, but I feel like we really do need to get ahead of it because if I project that he's going to work out for us, he's only going to be that much more expensive, say, if we wait till the end of the year. So we'll pay Sam Howell, get the big contract out of the books. Got a lot of tough calls here, man. Mike Jaxon, Draymond Jones. I mean, these guys are at their ceiling. Are they going to be here long term? Probably not. Dodson's pretty much at his ceiling. We drafted Noah Fant's successor. Now, Kobe Bryant hit a dev trade with us. I always kind of have a soft spot for these guys. So let's see if we can go 4-year. We'll bump that up a little bit. 13 mil. Very affordable, very reasonable contract. Abe Lucas at tackle, another guy, really serviceable. Pretty expensive, though. 15, 16, 17 for a guy that... his ceiling's probably 82, 83. Do you pay it 82, 83, 15? It's just, honestly, I would say the argument, if he takes this contract, it's just one less position we have to try to draft early, because we're going to have a lot of positions that, obviously, we're going to have to, pretty much retool the defensive line. We're going to get a new wide receiver 3, need another corner, probably going to need another linebacker. Mafe, definitely a guy I want to continue to try to, gamble that he will develop and grow in our scheme. So we'll go up to 8 and 9.5, 4 years, $70 million for Mafe. Again, a lot of money, much like Sam Howell, gambling their best footballs ahead of Tariq Woolen. You ain't going nowhere. We're going to get you to your 31. 5 years, 66.5, Dunzo. We still got 100 mil. DK Metcalf. You're not going anywhere. I'll give you, I don't know, he probably needs another $1 million either way. And clearly, Kenneth Walker is going to be that dude. He is going to sim very well in our offense. He's going to be a focal point of our offense. This is a rare offense where he eats and we can feed 2 wide receivers in DK and JSN. So we want to keep him. We'll come back. We'll make sure we get DK Metcalf next week. And hopefully we can handle all the turnover that we're going to have, especially on the defensive side of the ball this offseason as we look to get younger. Well, we got so much money. Dots is only looking for a 2-year. Keeps till he's 29. We'll get him as well. On top of we just got DK to sign the ting. Well, good news is we have another scenario for Sam Howell to potentially break out. Still on the normal dev. And now, I mean, let's be honest. Anytime you pay well over $150 million for a quarterback in Madden, and they're a normal dev, you really need him to get off that normal dev. So another opportunity. He missed it last year. Let's see if we can get it this year, I think against the Bears. All right, we put up big numbers. 28-17. I'm not going to lie, not super optimistic. Let's go. Another big performance for Sam Howell. We get the dev trait. No XP, but on the conversation of XP boost, we most likely crushed the trench boost, which in my opinion is the best XP scenario you can get in the regular season. Back-to-back games without allowing a sack. So not only do we get the dev trait, we get 10,000 XP for every single lineman on this team. And we close out year 2 with a much better record, tied atop the NFC West with the Niners at 11-6. They have the tiebreaker, so we have to wait just a little bit longer to get our first divisional title. But overall, offensively, we scored the most points in the league. Top 5 passing offense. Defense, I don't know why our pass defense is so bad, because that's the strength of our defense, but it's Madden 24. Everything is super random. Sam Howell, runner-up for MVP. He was also quarterback of the year. Kenneth Walker was running back of the year and showed a little love on the defensive side of the ball. Tariq Woolen, DB of the year. Sam Howell was second in yards, second in touchdowns. 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 7 picks. We're laughing. Absolutely laughing. Running the ball 15-7. Like, this might be our best offense we've had this quickly. And maybe we need to show a little bit more respect to the Seahawks playbook here. 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns for DK Metcalf, 87 catches, 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns for JSN in the slot. Fant was solid. Lockett, role player for sure. On the defensive side, Jerome Baker, Dodson, and Starks. Malachi Starks, the rookie. You love seeing that. 102 tackles, 6 DFLs, 3 picks. Oh, and he's just an X factor. Getting the scouting, top 5 true talent, aggressive in going, getting him worth every bit. The sacks could be better. 8 for Owosu, 8 for Leonard Williams, 6.5 Mafe, 5.5 for Murphy, 16 TFLs, ain't too bad. But definitely kind of need to figure out the pass rush there a little bit. But 6 picks, Tariq Woolen for your DB of the year. Well, the rankings are great. We got ourselves a quarterback, justifies the contract, and I'm glad we got ahead of it because that would be a lot more expensive than the $170 million. That's probably $220, $230 right now if we decided not to pay Sam Howell when we did. But great opportunity here to further justify that by getting a playoff win. I'm not expecting a Cinderella Super Bowl run, but I'd love to get a playoff win or 2 here. Okay. 10 points less than we average per game. I mean, Bucks do have a good defense, but man, that's so stupid. So as far as dev traits are concerned, on the offensive side of the ball, we get Sam Howell to make the jump from star up to a, obviously, we started as a normal, got the star dev in season, and with a just purely absurd stat line, which I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain that. I would love to think he did. But quarterback of the year, he is now a superstar dev, and if he plays like that again next year, he will be an X factor. Everyone else on the offense maintained their devs, Walker, Metcalf, and JSN. And you know what? Believable. When you have this much talent, this much X factors around you, Sam Howell is definitely put in a position to thrive. On the defense, this is where it's been definitely disappointing. Everyone kind of maintained their dev trait. Starks was an X factor out the box. Tariq Woolen, DB of the year, gets his dev trait. But man, we got to figure out the pass rush. We can bid in a lot of money to Mafe as well. I don't know. I think we're also in a position here for both Devin Witherspoon and JSN. Not going to pick up those very expensive 5th-year options. I'd rather get them locked long-term contracts next year. For free agency, we're going to go out and try to get a pass rush just because I did focus scout pass rushers. Looks like it's uninspiring type year. We need D-end, a D-tackle, probably a slot corner as well in free agency. Let's just one less position we have to gamble on. We get a Jabo, I assume. This is an assumption I probably could just easily Google, but I'm assuming Mike McDonald. Connections with the Michigan defense might have overlapped there a little bit. Ajabo was a project player, came into the league, go to the Ravens coming off an injury. Maybe he can take a step up. It's kind of just a lottery pick, and hopefully we can get some pass rush juice out of him. So try to decide who to pick. Not, again, just weird pass rush class. I'd rather not. Learning the D tackles. We got our cheesy nose tackle picks, which I think that's probably the direction we're going to go. Alton Upshaw might be the best of the 3 that are in the class. A tackle, B block shed, CC. The strength is what obviously makes him stand out. But that second, third round, I feel like we could probably get him in the second round. So the next position, I mean, we also have the outside edge rusher, but it's just a really weak class. There wasn't any first round projected outside linebacker in this class, which is kind of a bummer. So we go to corner, where corners look pretty good. The ones that are available. We have Evan Smith out of West Virginia still on the board. 6 feet tall, 195, B-man, B-zone, elite speed. Rest ain't too bad. Wish the 3-cone 20-yard shuttle maybe a little bit better. We scout it down here. Unique traits. You don't want to draft him early, but A-man, 6'5". We're trying to retool the Legion of Boom here. Not a lot of physical attributes stand out outside of the fact that he is 6'5" and has a letter grade, so he might be normal dev. But we are definitely in a really, really weird spot as it relates to our first round pick. And I think, honestly, maybe we see what kind of trade we can get. Thanks for doing business with you. But now there's going to be a little bit of a gamble because we have to wait to the second round. And I'm going to assume we're not going to have the pick of our litter for when it comes to the defensive tackles. Oh, we do. All right, cool. Upshot, welcome to the... Also, let's hope that a 6'5" corner is going to be available in the third round. I'm gambling a lot that we're just simming right to the picks. A lot of times with the guys I really want, I just sim pick by pick by pick. Kind of watch how the... Damn it. Thanks, I hate it. Absolutely. I mean, that's just my fault. False hope and hoping that the board would fall the way we want it to fall. And this guy actually could be decent for a power rusher. A tackle, B power move. Block set's kind of the shits. Pretty damn good combine, though. Of course, can't get a dev trait. Fuck me, right? So looking at our draft recap, Upshot, that's a stud. 76 if you're going to be a normal dev. I'll take that in the second round. Plus, we get a future first round pick, future second round pick. Alexander, not bad for a blind pick, getting a 70 in the third. Rest of the draft, though, I just honestly simmed it up. The board looked terrible. Kind of got some athletes here and there, like corner with 93 speed, safety with 90-plus speed, corner with 91 speed, but not a great showing. Just because the guy we wanted, Deion Davis, the 6'5" corner, does have a dev trait, which would have been great to throw next to Tyreek Woolen. Please just be star, and I hate myself. Fuck. That's where the midway point of year number 3, coming off a huge Week 8 victory over the Cowboys. Anytime you can beat them in the sim, that is a win, with Sam Howell getting a Player of the Week performance, 250 yards, 3 tutties. Obviously not a dominating performance, but I will take a sim win over Dallas, where my quarterback was the best in the conference. Looking at our rankings here, offense pretty good. Defensive points per game ain't bad, but how the defense is overall playing, not great. We'll get a contract with $110 million. We're actually going to start on the expensive end first. JSN has been incredible. And, honestly, I'd rather, let's see, we got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 years left. I'll give him 7. Because clearly, he's not going anywhere. He was here for the whole rebuild. We got Devin Witherspoon. He's been solid, He's been solid. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more production-wise, but I do think he's one of those DBs. Stylistically, if he starts to get slow and a little bit older, might be able to kick him back to safety. We have Charles Cross. I hate paying linemen, but he's pretty damn good. His ceiling is probably mid-90s, so we'll come up maybe another $1 million or so to get him to sign that 5-year contract. I will say, because we're going to pay Charles Cross, generally in these longer rebuilds, you want to go cheap on the offensive line. So while Bradford is solid, and I'm seeing a guy who's seen is probably 83, 84, pretty expensive. Yeah, you get into a 4-year. All those caps are under. We're just getting to the spot here where it's like, can we just start drafting some linemen? So I think we will pay. Yeah, we'll pay Charles Cross. Everyone else, thank you for your service. To close out year 3, we go and, hey, we just make the playoffs. And if that's kind of, I don't know what to say. We're a win back from where we were last year, so technically we're not any better, but making the playoffs, at least you're making the playoffs. Making the playoffs kind of ugly is better than missing the playoffs, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Offensively, really good. Defensively, well, Mike McDonald's a defensive coach. I'm a little sus. Just a little sus, but being honest with you. Sam Howell comes in at number 7 in the MVP race. I love after giving a new contract, Devin Witherspoon, DB of the year, Tariq Woolen on the outside looking in, but still almost top 5. And we got 3rd in yards, 4th in touchdowns for Sam Howell. Interceptions up a little bit. You always like kind of keep those into single digits, but very happy with his season. Running the ball a little bit less than what we got from Kenneth Walker, but still really good. Averaging 86 yards a game, no fumbles, 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, 16-10 from DK, 12-12 from JSN, Randolph. Good role player. Mitchell Evans, the new starting tight end, wasn't too bad as well. Defensively, Jerome Baker and Dotson were our tackle machines. We got 11 sacks from Byron Murphy, 9 from Derek Hall, 4.5 from Mafe, 3 from Chenowusu. Ojabo, I will admit, I forgot to set the depth chart, so Ojabo for like the first 9 weeks was kind of a rotational guy with Hall starting. So that'll be, so I'm not going to be harsh. That was kind of a user error. Look at the interception, 6 for Witherspoon, 4 for Woolen, 3 for Jerome Baker. Couple duos there, 2 from Kobe Bryant. Love seeing that. Interception numbers finally up. And we got the Bucks in the first round. They beat us last year, so we get a rematch. Very good defense. It's kind of what I remember. But offensively, not great, but they shut down our offense. And we get a little bit of revenge. 27-24, our first win of the Sam Howell playoff era here with Seattle. Good performance. 1 touchdown, 300 yards. Not brutal. We didn't actually run the ball particularly well. Sam Howell with a rushing touchdown. DK went nuclear. 11 catches, 183 yards. We got a sack from Alton Upshaw, our rookie defensive tackle. You know what? We'll take that. Finally, a playoff victory. It only took us 3 goddamn years. And you know what? I can say this as a Philadelphia Eagle fan, a team that has our number. No matter even if it's a down year. Seattle is one of those teams that I hate playing as an Eagle fan. Like, Philly could literally have like a roster, the S tier, and we could play a down bad, banged up. Like, look, so last year, Drew Lock. It's just one of those teams, man. So hopefully that curse continues, and we can get past the Philadelphia Eagles and continue a little miracle run. Then we do. Seattle keeps out in Philly 35-24 with a player of the week performance. Kenneth Walker, 130 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Like that, the Sam Howell-led Seahawks are in the NFC Championship game against that's the scariest thing you could see. A below 500 team, a win away from the Super Bowl. We should beat them. We're better in every single aspect outside of the record, and we handle business, baby. Year 3 Super Bowl. 27-24, we knock out the Packers, and it's Kenny Walker again. He has 6 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, and who said running backs are dead in Madden? Our Cinderella run meets the juggernaut in the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs are the number 1 offense, number 5 defense. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. But there is still, I don't want to say we're a Cinderella team. On paper, we're probably top 5 at worst in the NFC. However, anytime you go against Kansas City, you are the dog. Let's shock the world. And because it's year 3, we will enact our 3 opportunities to potentially hop in and help our team. More so because it's against the goddamn Chiefs. Anytime you need to take a second, you take your second. It is 4th and 1, and I'm telling you right now, you are not settling for a field goal here. 29-yarder. Yeah, freaking right. We are going to keep this in the air. We're going to go to either JSN. There's no safety over there. Or we go to the tight end for the quick first down. But we're going to go to JSN on the release. Diving catch. Right on the Chiefs logo. Let's go. That is a pivotal momentum shift right there. Look, next drive, they get nothing. 3-0. Touchdown, Seattle. That is sparked some momentum. Kansas City takes a little bit of the wind out of our sails. And I don't know how weird things just happened, but 2 straight, okay. A lot of things are happening. But look at that. Look at the way we're finishing. They go over it on 4th down. Turnover on downs. Sam Howell is going nuclear. Sick and tired of the Chiefs' dominance, and we do it. A year 3 Super Bowl, only 2nd year of Sam Howell being our starting quarterback. A 4-0 playoff run. A Super Bowl win, not just over any team. Not over someone that's respectable, like when you meet the Bengals. Like when you meet the Ravens. Like when you meet, sometimes the Raiders get hot. They get a good playbook. Sometimes You'll see, Steelers can go on runs every now and again. But we just beat the team to beat. We know. And I came in once. So that bodes well for the remainder of the rebuild. That if this team, we saw its ceiling right here. This core group of players is not going anywhere. So we have a team built where the foundation of this team that is going to be here, years 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, is going to be here. This team can. It's not going to do it every time. We can play Kansas City the next 2 Super Bowls and end up losing. But we know this team's ceiling is Sam Howell can go for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and beat the Chiefs. And if you can do that, you can beat anybody. All right, we got a dilemma. I need interior line, and we got Andrew Aguilar, who looks like he's about to be a god. Could be arguably the best player in this draft class. The bench press, the agility's elite. That could be fucking 4 A's across the board. The question is going to be, is it worth trading up for an interior line? I'm saying if he's that damn good. I scouted edge rushers. We got Drew Douglas, top 5 projected pick. I just had to see because he had the A finesse move. First, second round talent, so it's, whelming. Cam Peck looks like he could be interesting, but he would have to slide into D tackle. But for me, I think the value pick here is Kyle Madden. Second, third round pick, first round talent. Had the A power move, A tackle. I think this might be the guy we want. The finesse move's not particularly good, but the combine's also not S tier, but it's not bad. I'm very intrigued, even though my gut says he's a guy that has a high rating, normal dev trait. But I think in a perfect world, if we can get Madden and this center, I'm going to be pretty happy with that haul. Let's see where that center's going. Because, I got price points. And this center is very much he's going at 26. So, there's a scenario here that we're going to have to trade from 32 to 26. That won't be too expensive. And then probably trade up in the second round as well to get that pass rusher. Doable. Very doable. By trade up, I mean psych! We got our 2 first-round picks. Our emergency plan. If Sam Howell didn't work out. So, with our first pick, we're going to welcome Andrew Aguilar to the team. No relation to Nelson. And honestly, we get perfect, we're going to get our guys. We're going to be able to get our pass rusher. I would love to see a depth trade. Absolutely love. I mean, we didn't go much further beyond the pass rushers. I don't think there's really, that's a pretty good, ooh, that's a real good corner. A-man, A-press. Don't be fast. Yeah. 3-cone 20-yard shuttle's pretty good. Maybe I trade up for you. Or this guy. This guy also looks good. A-press, B-man, B-catching. Don't be fast. Oh, and he's real fast. So we got some real nice corners. That could be available. We have pick 18. We have 2 second-round picks. Now that I'm refreshing, this is what happens when you take a couple days off between recording. By couple days, I mean a day. Clint Ferris also looks decent. B-man, B-zone, B-press. Elite speed. Could also be there in the second round. But we handle our business. Pass rushers are at a premium. And we scout a guy that's a first-rounder, even though I'm prepared for this to be a normal dev. Yes! Damn it. Okay, so Ferris, the first corner looked pretty good. Just went off the board. I thought he would have a chance to be available. But now we're going to make sure we make the right call. Who's going to be the better of the two? Theo Pendleton or Kendall June? A-man, A-press. C-tackle. We got great, elite, change of direction. Speed's only solid, but the 3-cone and 20-yard shell is really what we like to look for. I mean, I can end up getting both. I don't need to. But Tariq Woolen is slightly, he's 28. So he's going to start regressing. Wouldn't be the worst thing taking both these guys and just stocking up. We get the speed on Kendall. I feel like we could probably get both, especially with how the board could look come that second pick, where this guy's just the best player again. So we will go Pendleton first, just because the probability that he gets drafted. We're crushing it. All right, so we have a little bit of a tough call. On the inside, last year's first-round pick, second-round pick, was a D tackle, normal dev. We have Dwayne Pritchard as a finesse move. And he's just undersized, but the combine all looks real good. Elite acceleration, jumping, and speed. We have the letter grades here of Cedric Savage out of Utah. Also a little bit undersized, but 3 Bs and a C. Combine's also not brutal. So he can add a little bit of competition on the inside. We've yet to pay Byron Murphy, so that could give us a little insurance there. I'm not seeing a couple decent linebackers, but that's not a huge need for us right now. And I'm, but then it goes like, do we go D-tackle? Like right now it's a depth guy. Do we go with the D-tackle or do you go with the corner? I feel like the corner is higher probability. But he's 3rd, 4th round, and I can continue to sim, and hopefully Logan goes first, and then we can kind of see where the board is at. Because that could be like a 3rd round trade up. That D-tackle's going to go earlier, I think. So we'll go Cedric Savage, and we'll keep an eye and try and get that corner and just get all our dudes. Let's go another dev! All right, Logan just went, so we're going to try to trade up here with the Texans, and honestly, I'll sacrifice the rest of my draft to move up and get the last corner. I literally give them every one of our remaining picks. Thanks. Appreciate it. Not a bad price to pay considering my board. There was one wide receiver late that was not quite, that wide receiver that has B route running and his elite speed acceleration. He had good speed. Actually, I'll show you right now. This is the guy that we're going to pass on. He was, this guy here actually looked like he could be all right. Doesn't have the speed you want to see, but the ratings, B catching, B release, potentially an A deep route running. The ratings are good, but the reason why he's falling is definitely a little suspect. But down here late, Devontae Rice out of Southern Utah. We had a later pick. This is where I probably would have just took a flyer there. B deep route running, 6'1", 4.28, 3 cone. It's pretty good. 20-yard shuttle is not the best. Vertical jump could be better. Only elite acceleration. So I still think the right call here. That would literally be my only other pick. So I'll sacrifice that to go get a guy that's an absolute dog at corner. Hopefully he's hidden up so we can get a clean sweep. But at worst, this guy's going to be definitely like a 73, 74 plus. And give me all dev traits. Give me a God draft. Let's go. Those Super Bowl champions. The rich get richer. This might be one of the best we've ever had. Andrew Aguilar, 79 dev trait. Kyle Madden, 75 dev trait. Theo Pendleton, 78 dev trait. Cedric Savage, 71 dev trait. Kendall June, 76 with a dev trait. One thing I do want to see between these two DBs. Any of them maybe play safety. Just the more you could do, right? Let's get some tackle here. What are we talking about tackling wise? 62. This guy got 76 hit power, but 62, 72. That ain't bad. Kendall June could be a safety. 6'2", 6'3" as well. We didn't have the later round picks to kind of make this draft like a couple like 60s close out. Might overall bring it down. But pound for pound, you're not going to see a better draft than that. And it's almost just playing the percentages. What are the odds that Aguilar, who's now in 80 when we kick him from center out to guard, 81 with our boost, Savage at D-tackle, Madden at pass rush, Pendleton, and the other buddy, what are the odds they're all-star? That's kind of where I'm at. Very, very unlikely. And we have someone here that not only gives us cover as Tariq Woolen gets a little bit older, but Kobe Bryant, another guy, probably pretty close to his ceiling. We locked him down long term. He was very cheap, very affordable. But he's another guy. Like, if he loses a depth trait, goes to normal dev, we can kick one of these depth guys. Also lucked out last year with Pritchett, who was like our 5th or 6th round pick when we first started this rebuild. He went up dev trait last year because he played quite a bit for us. I do think, unfortunately, for a Jabo, we probably should let Kyle Madden start at pass rush, just because the higher ceiling already. We don't have a huge investment in Njigba anyway. He was kind of a bargain free agency signing. Maybe we honestly try to trade him. I don't know yet, but what a freaking draft class going into year 4. So on the trade block, Njigba was very much surplus requirement. The Bills had the most interesting offer. They offered us Kyer Elam, who's 2680 star dev corner, and a 4th round pick. Don't need the corner. So knowing that they were willing to play like a pretty damn good player and a decent pick, I'm going to do what's best for us draft pick-wise. I'm going to give them a Njigba, our 3rd and 5th round pick this year, to get their 2nd round selection. And as your defending Super Bowl champions, year 4 off to a great start, sitting atop of the NFC West, 5-2. Easily the best record in the division. Offense playing great. Defense, hey, I like seeing the rush defense being number 2. Good year because we don't need to really pay any money. Pritchett's just too much depth. Solid depth player developed nice for us, but with how we just crushed the draft with adding 2 stud corners, we're fine. Linebacker is where I think we're going to try to get younger, as Jerome Baker also is getting up there in age. That's the position I focus scouted for this upcoming draft, so hopefully we can find a dog. And Haynes, another guy, developed nicely from our very first draft class, just pretty damn expensive for a guy that's going to be replaceable. Woo! Year 4, 12-5, and even though we won the Super Bowl last year, this is our first NFC West championship. Niners, Cardinals, Rams have been annoyingly good, but luckily our teams peak at the right time. Number 2 offense, top 10 defense. We kind of hinted a little bit that McDonald need to step up his defense a little bit. Definitely has done that. Man, we are getting close to get that MVP for Sam Howell. He does get Offensive Player of the Year with JSN at number 2. Kenneth Walker making the top 10. I will say slightly disappointingly, we get number 2, number 3, number 5 on Defensive Rookie of the Year. Sam Howell, Quarterback of the Year. Kenneth Walker, Running Back of the Year. JSN at 2. DK Metcalf making the top 10. For whatever it's worth, our first round pick at guard, Andrew Aguilar, already the second best lineman in the NFC. Look at our stats. Sam Howell, 4,700 yards, the 43 touchdowns, was most in the league, only 5 picks. His interceptions were a little high last year. He's cut down on those, and he's playing like a bona fide franchise quarterback, which I love to see, man. I won so much money betting on the Sam Howell era, North Carolina Tar Heels. They're one of my teams. North Carolina. Baylor was 2 years ago when Baylor was like really good defensively. They like Jalen Petrie. It was North Carolina, Baylor, and Western Kentucky. Those are like the 3 teams that make me like more money betting on than, I bet on the Gators. Those are just dumb bets anyway, and they always usually bite me in the ass. But North Carolina's been pretty damn good to me, going all the way back to Sam Howell. So I'm happy that we're able to kind of put it all together for him. He also had another almost 300 yards on the ground, 400 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, which is great. 14 and 13 for Kenneth Walker. We got 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns for JSN. Jake Bobo, who's like, if you're watching as a Seahawks fan, you know this guy is like a fan favorite. He ate. DK ate. I don't know why Bobo ate in the DK stats there a little bit, but not pissed off. About almost 700 yards and 6 touchdowns for Evans. We got 5 touchdowns at the backfield for Kenneth Walker. Just an elite offense. Both of our linebackers, not bad. Dodson with 3 picks. 12.5 sacks, 18 TFLs for Murphy, 19 and 10 for Mafe, 5.5 for Cedric Savage. Now, I only know one dev trait. Savage is star. Like I said, that's annoying, but, there's only so many dev traits that go around. Madden is star, so we have the 2 corners. I can tell you right now that Aguilar, who was awesome, didn't give up a single sack. He was a superstar dev. So at least we got one superstar. I'd love for at least one of those 2 corners to pop a dev trait as well. I don't think they played enough. But look, Pendleton had 3 picks. Dodson with 3. Witherspoon with 3. Pendleton with 3. He is star dev. Ah, man. Will be, slightly annoying. And I don't think we're going to have June's dev trait unveiled. It's star 2. So, 4 stars, 1 superstar. I mean, I guess it could have been all star devs. All right, we got the first round of the playoffs. The 10-7 49ers. Defending our Super Bowl crown, would hate to choke in the first round against a divisional rival. And it is a holy shootout. 49-37. How do we not get an Offensive Player of the Week with this type of performance? 4 touchdowns. Brock Purdy, 5 touchdowns. So very suspect for my defense. We did pick him off twice. We got 135 yards for Walker. 2 touchdowns for Jay Knott. JSN, Bobo, Evans went off. We got to figure out how to get DK back heavily involved in this offense. Madden with the sack, a rookie. We got Treek Woolen and Dodson both with picks. I mean, that's a nice win, man. That just adds fuel to the fire of that rivalry. Now we go on to the divisional round against, I honestly would think it's fair to say, after Dallas in the NFC, Atlanta might be the second most annoying sim team. I think they're more annoying than the Eagles. And I don't think that's just bias coming in because I feel like I'd have a lot more neutral losses that I'd be all right with if we were losing to the Eagles time and time again. It's not the case. Atlanta is very popular when they're usually up there, so this is not going to be an easy game. But we are defending our Super Bowl champion. We are the favorites in all of these matchups, and we handle business 27-21. Back to another NFC championship game. Kenneth Walker, Offensive Player of the Week, 3 total touchdowns. We got Murphy with 2 sacks. He's aging like a fine wine. He's coming off. I firmly expect him to go up superstar dev this year. And we have the NFC Championship game against the New York Giants, they can run the football. They can stop the pass pretty well. I'll show them enough respect as far as auto-upgrading some of my players here to make sure we got our strongest lineup out there. But again, I think matchup where the Seahawks are heavy favorites. We are 4 overall points better. We are better coached. We've been here before, and look at that. It's a rematch. Going right back. Literally what I just talked about. Starks, Defensive Player of the Week. Kenneth Walker's carrying this goddamn team on their back. Somehow Bills had Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week and still lose because that is how freaking good the Kansas City Chiefs are in the sim. But we won the Super Bowl last year. I just said we might play to the Chiefs in multiple Super Bowls and lose, but we know we can beat them. I did not expect it would be an instant rematch here. But if we can find a way to takes 3 Super Bowls, become a dynasty. We can get 2 of those early in this rebuild. That's going to be huge. Chiefs went out, though. They were 15-2, number 1 offense, number 1 rushing defense. We run the football well, so that's going to be a tough matchup, but I trust our guys. Well, there is something about if Sam Howell, in back-to-back years, can beat the cheat code in Madden 24. I only had to hop in once. It wasn't like I had to go in 3 times last game either and heavily influence the gameplay. But looks like with a very slow start, we might need to hop in here. We'll cash in 1 here early in the second quarter so this game doesn't get too lopsided. We didn't really pick a great play to get a touchdown on, but let's see. We're going to hit Slain here to JSN. One of the best catchers of the football over the middle of the field. Great grab, but I am very annoyed that we got the whole first quarter with 1 completion. It's going to take a lot more than that. But we were able to cap off that drive, get a touchdown, but our defense is not playing the best. But look at that. Oh, my God. We might need to come up. We tied up at 21 in the third. Defense holds them to a field goal, but that was a turnover there by the offense. There we go. Instant touchdown. Give me 1 stop. 1 freaking stop. We'll come in. Clock's rolling. This is the one time I love it when the clock is rolling. We're going to take our freaking time here. Jake Bobo? Do we get Jake Bobo a touchdown for all the sickos? Oh, no, it's not good. Go to JSN. There we go. Now, I'm a little worried. Most teams, you feel pretty good about being able to close that one out. 50 seconds left. They have to get a touchdown. 4th and 24. We still have 1 more time to come in. Let's go seal this deal. I want to go Byron Murphy on the inside. It's the rookie! Cedric Savage, sack and a half. And the Seahawks have beat the Chiefs. We are on an 8-0 playoff run. Back-to-back Super Bowl wins over the cheat code Chiefs. Now, I had to influence this one a little bit more, so be it. Not as impressive as our Year 3 Super Bowl win, but we got 2 of our 3 Super Bowls before even Year 5. The commitment to go with Sam Howell has paid off immediate dividends. We have a play. I haven't, when I think of cheesy play, the last rebuild we had the 2 freaky wide receivers. Right? In Arizona. If you go check that out. It's probably the best offense we've ever had. Literally game-breaking offense. We knew we had to go to the Vikings playbook. Because the Vikings playbook, we've seen it time, tested, and true that Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison can crush. So we kind of knew. But the thing with that playbook is we had 2 wide receivers that were eating, but the running backs were non-existent. Kenneth Walker's eating. Kenneth Walker is winning running back of the year, and we're still getting 2,000 to 3,000 yard receivers here in Seattle. Bonkers. Absolute bonkers. We don't need to gloat. We don't need to hoist that other one. Back-to-back Super Bowl MVP, Sam Howell and Russell Wilson, who we have a new greatest Seahawks quarterback of all time. All right. Pick 32. All right, Focus Scout. And what we really do need is a new starting middle linebacker. Bad news. There's no real value in the first round. We have Calvin Woodward, value, but not at this round. Eric Thomas, value, but not this round. Keaton, and these guys are fast. We got A-zone coverage on Barrow. A-zone coverage on Klein. Now, maybe I should have prefaced this before there was a top 5 projected pick at middle linebacker as well, but that's just, we're not doing that. That's one of those come on. So, I don't want to say we're going to cheese this, but the reality is, don't really have to make I don't want to get into, we've won the Super Bowl back-to-back years. I don't want to get into the pattern of just constantly kicking the picks down the road, right? We do need a wide receiver 3. Could go Cliff Neal here. A-deep route running. Elite speed. Great accelerate. Again, I don't think he's going to be the best pick. Probably normal dev. But, Bobo thrived. So this guy here gets 1,000 yards. That's Rookie of the Year dev trait. All right, now it's time to go get our linebackers. In a perfect world, I can get two of these guys that we have scouted. Let's see here. I think Woodward had the better combine. B-zone, C-tackle, C-pursuit, elite speed. 4.49. Eric Thomas, better letter grades. I mean, I think we go Thomas here. Hidden depth, let's go. 89 speed, 89 acceleration. You love to see it. Ooh, and we get one more second round pick. This is because of the Ojabo trade. And that's perfect business because we're going to go grab. Hey, let's go get the other linebacker that looks pretty damn good. Calvin Woodward, please have a dev trait. Let's go 91 speed, even faster. Those are going to be our two long-term starters, I think. We just replaced Baker and Tyrell Dodson in one draft. Huge. So they're going to be got our draft recap. Kind of simmed it out after that. Computer didn't really hook us up, but Woodward 72 with the dev trait, Thomas 73 with the dev trait, and Neil, if you're going to be a normal dev first round pick, 75 minimum needs to be your rating. He is 76. Elite speed, great catching. Usually you don't get that. Usually you get the guy's 93 speed. He is like 78, 77 catching with our boost up to an 85. That 86 deep route running, 92 agility, 91 jumping, 94 change of direction. This is a big time athlete that's going to be huge for us as our wide receiver 3. We got a hot start here to year 5, off to 5-2, kind of starting to run away with the NFC West. Looking at our rankings, however, not great at all. And looking at our contracts, got definitely a couple tough decisions to make, but not a crazy amount. Jerome Baker, starter, the veteran at linebacker, but we just drafted 2 new linebackers. He is very much replaceable. Jade Knott, decent RB2, replaceable in the draft. Nabu is a starter at guard, kind of cheap, all things considered. I mean, that might get it done. 5-31. I mean, his ceiling's probably in the mid-80s. So I think we take a little bit of a value pick there. Mitchell Evans at tight end. I did just focus scout tight ends because I think that we should always just kind of go with like a good rookie, a promising rookie. Evans is not getting off that dev trait. So I don't know how particularly high his ceiling is. Brailford at center. Great story. Obviously, our offensive coordinator coming from Washington. Brailford, Washington. But again, that's a lot of money. Even though ceiling's very high, but half, a third, fourth of the price. We got Nabu, similar rating, similar ceiling. So I think it's probably going to be in our best interest again to get younger at that position because our salary cap is starting to dwindle. And if I am going to pay, I'm going to pay for a guy that's been very productive. The very first round pick way back in year 1 of this rebuild, Byron Murphy II. He has been very good as an interior pass rusher for us. So I would like to get him locked in for 5 seasons, and it's going to cost us a little bit. I think we could go like 10.5, 5, 148. There we go. And we close on year 5, 13-4. Our best record so far in the rebuild. Our second NFC West title. And it's starting to feel like, we already got 2 Super Bowls, but it is starting to feel like the dominance of the West is beginning. And I wouldn't be necessarily shocked if we don't give up this West reign anytime soon, and probably could close out the rebuild, honestly, for the next 5 years remaining. But we handle business. Week 18, beating the Rams, a 35-34 close victory. Did get a Player of the Week performance, though, from Sam Howell with 4 total touchdowns. So he is rolling into the playoffs as hot as ever. And we're going to remember, we are on back-to-back 4-0 playoff runs. Have to run the gauntlet. Haven't got that first round bye yet, but we are 8-0. Make it 9 against Atlanta. Sam Howell coming in top 5 in the MVP voting. We have Cliff Neal, our wide receiver 3 offensive rookie of the year. He's normal dev. We got Eric Thomas and Woodward 1 and 2 for defensive rookie of the year. I'll take dev traits on both of them, honestly. And our last award winner is Sam Howell, quarterback of the year in the NFC. Howell is 9th in yards, 4th in touchdowns this year. 4,100 yards, 38 touchdowns to 5 picks. We got almost 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns from Kenneth Walker, 4 tutties on the ground for Sam Howell. 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns for JSN, 3 yards shy of 1,000 for DK. That's going to piss him off. The rookie Cliff Neal, 77 catches, almost 900 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Evans was solid as well. DK is starting to get old, though. Maybe, 30 is not very fair to many players in Madden, wide receivers included. So we'll have to keep eyes on that. Defensively, Eric Thomas and Woodard, our 2 rookie linebackers, both thriving in the NFL. 11 sacks from Mafe, 10.5 from Byron Murphy, got himself a brand new contract. 7 sacks from Kyle Madden, And on the interceptions front, no standout. You know, we've had big pick numbers from Woolen, big pick numbers from Devin Witherspoon. Unfortunately, did not get that role this year. The first round of the playoffs on an 8-0 playoff run. Atlanta is a tough assignment. Not tough enough. 35-21. We rock their shit. And we're moving on to the divisional round where we have the Philadelphia Eagles. We are on a 9-0 playoff run. Trying to make it 10-0 across 3 journeys. We'll be able to get it. Yeah, it's going to be tough. We're going through the gauntlet here. What would be next if we win? We go play Dallas. Unfortunately, the wheels fall off in year 5. We fall 31-15 to the Birds, a team that, I mean, they're exercising some demons there. Again, we talked about the last time we played Philly in the playoffs. Seattle has just always had their number. And unfortunately for us, you know, they stopped Kenneth Walker. He couldn't take the game over. DK Metcalf was very quiet. Defensively, they protected their quarterback. It is what it is, man. Your luck runs out at some point. Hey, we got 2 Super Bowls in a row. Let's let someone else get one. And we still have 5 years left to get one more and achieve dynasty status. I wanted to look at the dev traits here just because I was curious whether or not going under 1,000 yards would cause regression for DK Metcalf, but very fortunate that he keeps his X factor, and we gained the star dev on Neal, who was our first round pick, wide receiver, normal dev, popped as a star. That is very nice. So going into the offseason, we are going to be down Brailsford, so we're going to need a brand new center. We're going to be down Evans, so we're going to need a brand new tight end. Again, I reiterate, we did focus scout tight end, so we should be able to find, if there is one anyways, a really good rookie. On the defensive side of the ball, as far as dev traits are concerned, the D-line remains the same. Thomas keeps his dev trait. Woodward was hidden dev inexplicably after 100 tackles as a rookie, loses his dev trait, which is very harsh. Pendleton, the corner, goes from star up to superstar somehow. So we have, in a way, successfully, I think, recreated the Legion of Boom. 3 stud corners, 2 really nice safeties. But a very, very harsh dev trait regression here from Calvin Woodward, the rookie linebacker from Texas Tech. Come on, man. That's brutal. And we've been pretty passive when it comes to free agency, and I think that's been smart. We need center and tight end. I'm just trying to see if there's some value there in case, you know, you never want to go into free agency having to do something. And it does look like the 2 top players at those positions are the guys that we are letting walk. So we're going to keep our money. That's how we've been able to not have a difficult decision by letting a guy walk that we really want to keep, do the salary cap restrictions, because we've been so smart in not spending in free agency, and I think that's going to continue here this offseason. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, as we sim to pick 25 in the first round of the 2029 draft, we need center and tight end. Not a great center and tight end class. Not great in terms of just overall prospects at tight end. We scouted Jabari Williams because he's the only guy that had an A grade that was visible. I mean, he looks solid, 3rd, 4th round, 2nd, 3rd round talent. Could be fine at 6'5", 250. Now, centers, there was only 2 draftable centers. One's already off the board. So I think we just say screw it and get the only other draftable center. That is Corey Patton out of South Carolina. Get a dev trade. He'll be a day 1 starter. And then at pick 25, I think we grabbed the tight end we scouted. I'm not over the moon, but you know, lot that looks solid. Huge frame. Combine's pretty damn good. Great acceleration. Good speed. Top 5 and 3-cone. 20-yard shuttle. Ugh. Normal dev trait. We're going to grab some athletes here. We got Drew Sexton. A-zone coverage. B-tackle. 6'1", 238, 449. In the 40-yard dash. 3-cone drill. Looks pretty good. Vert. Nice as well. And hopefully this is another linebacker that just doesn't lose their rookie dev trait like we did last year with Woodward. We had a pretty good haul, all said and done. Corey Patton, 74 with the dev trait. Williams, 73, normal dev. Sexton, 74 with the dev trait. We got a speedy 73 normal dev running back. Dre Bibbs out of Memphis, giving us a little bit of juice with that 94 speed. And I'm not just, you know, sleeping here. It's year 5, not showcasing. I always like showcasing the other drafts in the division when people get studs. And I mean, I guess the Rams getting the 75 guard in the 3rd round is value. But I'm talking studs. I'm talking about guys we need to be worried about. And unfortunately, the Niners, the Rams, and the Cardinals really haven't got those guys. Look, the Cardinals had a big pick, top 5 pick, and get kind of, you know, an average pass rusher. The best way to get over a bad playoff loss is just keep on rolling. Rip it off the Band-Aid, get quickly into the next season, and we are at the midway point of year 6, back atop the NFC West. Rams, a little more competitive this year, but we're sitting there 5-2, looking pretty good. $65 million available. Salary cap. Got to be smart. Got to be very smart with how we handle this money. We have Kobe Bryant. Great developmental story. Love that he hit his dev trait. Replaceable. Abe Lucas. Expensive tackle. Replaceable. We're going to have to try our best. Replaceable. Upshaw's our D tackle 3. Thank you for your service. Replaceable. Maffei's been playing better. Probably deserves a contract based off his production. 11 sacks last year, 10 the year before that with the TFLs. This year, though, I don't want to say non-existent, but in a contract year, you're playing like dog shit. I think at worst, we wait till the end of the year and kind of see where he's at. Malachi Stark's the best safety in the NFL. Argument definitely could be made. How much value does a safety bring to a sim defense? But we're not letting a stud like that walk. I love seeing that, man. We close out year 6, destroying the Cowboys 49-7. Savage 3 sacks. Drafted homegrown D tackle, looking much like Byron Murphy. Make that jump up to a superstar. Become a household name. 12-5. We win our 3rd straight NFC West. We finished with the #1 offense in the NFL and a top 10 defense in the NFL. Much like last year, Sam Howell does finish top 5 in MVP voting. And our only award winner is Kenneth Walker, getting running back of the year. Looking at the stats, Sam Howell played well, man. Top 10 in touchdowns and yards. That's all you can ask for, honestly, at this point. And his interceptions, he's been shaving them off one by one every single year, which has been real nice. Our only award winner, Kenneth Walker, 1,500 yards, 21 touchdowns. What a beast. And I low-key do love the amount of scrambling production we've been getting out of Sam Howell. It's definitely added value that we're getting at the quarterback position. JSN, 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. Neal has kind of surpassed DK. DK's starting to get old. At least he's great while he's here. I'm not going to look at trading. I'm not going to look at cutting him. But discussions will probably have to be had when it comes time to pay DK Metcalf for the next contract. But at least JSN has been an absolute beast. And even, I mean, we're talking about 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Is not a brutal year. It's just maybe not up to the standard. The rookie Williams at tight end, 70 catches, 630 yards, 5 touchdowns. Great for a role player. Defensively, we got Eric Thomas and Sexton going over with their tackles there. Not too brutal. On the sacks front, Byron Murphy, 9.5 sacks, 14 TFLs, 8.5 sacks from Cedric Savage, 7.5 from Maffei, 5.5 Kyle Madden, 4 picks Devin Witherspoon. You know, not bad. It will be nice one of these years we can actually secure a first-round bye, but, you know, iron strengthens iron, and we get to find out right away here in the wild card round who the best team is in the NFC West. The Rams are real solid. We're real good. They're probably pissed off that we keep on winning the division. We're in a win streak. Fuck. All right, much like last year's bad playoff loss, this is another incredibly disappointing playoff loss. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just let's get into year 7 as quickly as possible. Looking at our dev traits as we close out the season, we get regression on DK Metcalf, which expected for sure. Our hidden dev center, Patton, just a star dev, which, you know, obviously worth noting because Aguilar, our last hidden dev lineman, was a superstar. On the defensive side of the ball, dev trait-wise, no one went up a dev trait, and Starks, who we just backed up a Brinks truck for, loses his X factor. Could accept the option on Aguilar and Kyle Madden. Just that's obviously going to be reasonable and in line with what their actual contract extension would look like. Maffei was kind of on like a prove it type deal. I almost feel like that's not brutal money. And while I did focus scout edge rushers, it gives us a year in case we can't find the edge rusher. Because likely we'd have to find a trade to get up and get one of the top dogs. And I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to be aggressive, especially after 2 bad playoff losses, change the fortunes of this team and get that 3rd Super Bowl, achieve dynasty status. But this gives us a little bit of insurance. Not long term, because even if I bring him back and I can get an edge rusher, it's not a deal breaker because he's only here for 1 season, and it gives us insurance. If we can't get that pass rusher, we got him on the roster. We're going to dip into free agency here. We got a real affordable replacement at right tackle. Trevon Stapleton, 25-76 with a dev trait. Is going to be as good as any rookie we potentially would have been able to target in the 1st round with our pick range without having to be aggressive and trading up super high. So we got a nice guy with still a high ceiling over the next 4 years. will develop into a very solid starting right tackle for us. So I think for this draft, there's a lot of depth at right outside linebacker. That is where I scouted. Usually, you're in an awkward predicament if you need a pass rusher, just because do you scout DNs or do you scout outside linebackers? And I decided to take the gamble here to scout outside linebackers. And I was like, oh shit, not one projected first rounder left outside linebacker, but there was like 5 projected first rounders. We scouted Donovan Campion out of Texas. We got Kevin Manning out of Alabama, Chris Dowding out of Wisconsin. They all look kind of solid, but I do think we just go with the guy that we did scout here. Donovan Camp, A pursuit, B block shed, B tackle, combine, not the best. I mean, he's a pass rusher, so 4.67, who's a defensive end, would be closer to the top 10. He'd definitely be a lock in the top 10 for most of those stats. Bench press is pretty good. We got A awareness, B block set, A power, A pursuit, C finesse move. A lot of times too, when you get the A power move or an A finesse move, the corresponding is like an F or something dog shit. So he's pretty well rounded. Maybe the only worry is athletically, is he good enough to have a hidden dev? There we go. There's our Mafe successor. Now, I do want to be honest. We went so heavy on pass rush that outside of just kind of cheesing linemen that had a run block, an A run block is 76, which we get a nice little dev trait there on a guard. My board was terrible this year. Luckily, though, we needed a pass rusher. We got one in Donovan Camp, 74 with that dev trait. And the only question is, do we go with Mafe as a 1-year rental or worry that that could stunt Camp's dev trait, lose it because he's not playing like we just had a couple years ago with our linebacker? Tough decision. I'm probably going to go with him as a starter. And switching it from outside linebacker to DN, his rating shot up one to a 75. Not bad. And the fact that, again, kind of shining light on how bad the teams of the rest of the division have drafted, for what it's worth, top 3 pick for the Cardinals, and they get a pass rusher with a normal dev and a lower rating than the one we got. So the rich keep getting richer as far as the NFC West is concerned. 6-1 here at year 7, midway point. Offensively top 10, defensively not bad. Little concerned, though, about the passing offense not being S tier. It's been S tier. Sam Howell's been, like, consistently, like, top 5-ish. And he is not right now. And you look at his age, he's 29, which is kind of the beginning of the end for most positions in Madden. But I got to be honest, for quarterback in particular, that's a little early for the regression to start. And the regression's coming at a terrible time for Sam Howell. I'm going to wait and see. I would have thought this would be criminal to not have Sam Howell finish this whole rebuild. But in a contract year where he's looking for $284 million, if he finishes this season with 26 touchdowns and 12 picks or something like that, I can't do it, won't do it. Look at the rest of the contract. I mean, we don't have an insane amount of money to be throwing around here. We have Kendall June, who we moved from corner to safety. I think there's definitely some value in keeping him and developing him at that position. So we'll get him locked in. Very affordable, very reasonable contract. Tariq Woolen. We have Savage at D tackle. I do like Savage. He's made some big plays for us. Enough so that I would like to keep him here for the rest of the rebuild. But also the way that we're doing this, by kind of paying everybody else, is there going to be money for Sam Howell, even if he does play well and finish up the year well? I think we got to go Pendleton. He's been great, has the more upside. I would love to also bring back Tariq Woolen. I think that's what we're going to do. If Howell earns himself a contract, a lot of that 15, 16 for next season will go towards extending Sam Howell. Sam Howell plays like butt cheeks. We get Tariq Woolen here and make sure he finishes his career as a Seahawk. And the regular season goes as planned. 14-3, actually our best record so far at any point in this rebuild. And it is our 4th straight NFC West championship. Looking at the stats, the offense figured itself out. Congrats, Sam Howell. We're going to have to figure out a way to pay you now. We did have only a 1 award winner going to Kenneth Walker, who was Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, Sam Howell figured it out. Finished 6th in yards, 7th in touchdowns. It was just a slow start. We just caught him at a bad time. He hadn't gotten to a rhythm. But huge production here for Kenneth Walker. 1,500 yards, 24 rushing touchdowns, 12 and 11 for JSN, just under 1,000 for Cliff Neal. DK is, an old man. We got 7 receiving touchdowns for Kenneth Walker. So he went for a 30 bomb total. Eric Thomas over 100 tackles. 10 sacks, Kyle Madden. 9 from Mafe. 6.5 from Murphy. 6 from Savage. Camp, the successor from Mafe, just didn't really get on the field. 5 picks, Malachi Starks. I mean, I love seeing that. We paid him big contract saying, like, is it worth, even though he's 99 X Factor at the time, when we paid him, wasn't going to be worth the paying because it's the production coming from that safety spot. Well, there's your answer. Both our safeties crushed it this year. So the first round of the playoffs, we get the 9-8 San Francisco 49ers to find out the best team in the division is. We are on a cold streak for the playoffs, so I'm happy that we got a nice, productive win over a bitter divisional rival, 42-14 with a Player of the Week performance. Sam Howell, 3 touchdowns. I mean, as it stands, he's not under contract, so he's like, you know what? I'm going to ball out here. I'm going to add a couple more zeros to that contract extension and make you pay for not paying me earlier in the season. So we'll auto-upgrade here. We have Nabu, our starting right guard. We'll get him a little bit better ahead of our divisional matchup game against the Commanders. I mean, they're legit 87s across the board. They got Caleb Williams, a quarterback, in this alternate universe. And again, we crash and burn. We had an 8-0 2 Super Bowl playoff run. 2 years, we went 4-0 all the way to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. Since then, in the last 3 years, we are 2-3. Brutal. And I guess you could say we at least budgeted somewhat responsibly as we could get this recommended offer to Sam Howell to run the route the rebuild. Remaining 3 years left of the rebuild, 3 years for Sam Howell. However, unfortunately, that means the end of Tariq Woolen's successful career here in Seattle. Same for Mafe. So since both those guys have been dogs, let's appreciate statistically what they've accomplished. Over 600 tackles for Tariq Woolen, 28 interceptions. We got 70 total sacks from Mafe and over 100 TFLs. Hell of a career for both of them. So as we start the draft here, we're going to wait till pick 27. An interesting draft for us. I think we go best DB available. We just moved June from corner to safety last season. Just to kind of, it all kind of worked out. We'll put it that way. So I don't have to go necessarily with a corner because I can always move June back to corner if the best player is safety. I got 3 players I'm trying to decide. One is Devontae Justice, second, third round projected in a pit, 3 Bs and an A combine. Not bad, honestly. 3-cone, 20-yard shuttle, pretty good. Elite, change of direct. Could have, good. The fact that he's good acceleration, good speed makes me scared that he's like, he'll be like a 76 normal. I think there's also value and maybe potentially waiting a little bit for a corner as we have Kirk Oglesby, A-zone, A-press. Athletically even better. Elite strength, elite acceleration. And he'd probably be there in the second round. So I might even still be able to double dip in the corner. And I think the best player available right now for us to take a swing is Daryl Barber here out of Texas. Unique traits are what stand out to me. And the fact that he has A-zone coverage and A tackle. Now the D-man's pretty bad. But A-zone coverage, elite strength, first in the 3-cone. Right where you want him to be in the 20-yard shuttle. Broad jump first, vertical jump first. Bench press is good. Even the combine's not bad for speed. I think we got to go Barber. I think we get that corner in the second round. I think we go all DB. Like, it would be cool if there was a Tariq Woolen in this class. Like, we can just replace him with another 6'4", height, weight, speed type player. Oh, no. Hey, still here? Okay. Kirk Oglesby. Let's go. Please have a dev trait, sir. Please have a dev trait. Come on. And for our draft recap, yeah, sir, 81 at pick 27, ass end of the first round. No one else saw the A-zone coverage and A tackle and said, this guy's pretty damn unique. Daryl Barber, let's go. That's what we need. Makes up. And hey, look, even then, value there. Late second, still getting a 76 rated player. You'll take that every day. We've got a 73 running back here in 4 rest of the draft. I mean, 69 D tackle ain't bad. But, man, oh, man, very happy with that. Unfortunately, too, the big, speedy wide receiver was good, but also not as freakishly athletic. In the other departments, it was more straight-line speed, but that's fine. But hell of a draft. Love it. 81. Do we get number 1 true talent? I guess that is the next big question. And there's an 81 QB going to the Steelers. There's an 80 wide receiver going to the Vikings. Yeah, that's what they need. Another wide receiver. Let's see this guy here real quick. Ooh, that guy's a stud. And another world where we give up on Sam Howell. This would probably be our quarterback, and I'd be equally as happy right now. So as we start year number 8, I want to do a quick little recap of the squad here, just more so where it's at, because, hey, you know what? It's been pretty good that it took us 8 years to finally lose notable starters. Offensively, we're still good. We are seeing regression in Kenneth Walker, even though he's coming off a career year. We are seeing kind of harsh regression in DK Metcalf, who not too long ago was a 98 X Factor, now 86 star. But, I mean, overall, offense still very good. Going to be one of the best in the league. Defensively low, we lost Boy Mafe, one of our better pass rushers. However, you got to remember, last year we drafted a edge rusher with our first pick to be a successor, and we're very lucky that he did not lose that depth trade because he did not play last year. So he has a big opportunity to play as a starter. Thomas and Sexton are our primary linebackers. We got Barber, who we used our coaching tree ability to unlock his depth trade. I was kind of hoping it was going to be an X Factor, but superstar rookie safety to pair with a 99 X Factor safety feels pretty damn good. Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, eat your heart out. We're working our best to replace it. Losing Tariq Woolen in the secondary is annoying. Pendleton, who we signed last year to a big contract extension, he is the highest upside player still, and he's 6'3", fits the Legion of Boom mantra. We still have Witherspoon who's crushing it. June was a floater. Not the kind that you flush, but last year he was our safety. Played his first 3 years as a corner. So versatile defensive back, and we're going to move him back to corner to kind of balance out the room. And I think pound for pound, offensively and defensively, I mean, we just got to stop choking the playoffs because this is easily a team that can win one more Super Bowl and achieve dynasty status. Why not here in year 8? Let's not sweat this one out. Let's not have to wait to get this year 9 or year 10. Let's get it right now. Week 8 of year 8, the good news is, well, it's not really good news, but the good news is we're only a game back for first place in the West. That's kind of the good news. Offensively, S tier, number 1 offense in the league. Defense, not particularly hot. Feeling the loss of the veterans, Mafe and Tariq Woolen. The rougher news is that we only have $84 million of salary and a lot of players to pay. It is unfortunately going to be the final year of DK Metcalf here in Seattle. So we'll give him hopefully the proper send-off. We got Charles Cross. That is a lot of money. Kenneth Walker. Not too often you're going to want to pay a running back. But when they're as good as Kenneth Walker, you prioritize that. Especially because he's aging like a fine wine. He got 30 total touchdowns last year. I don't think he's gone over 25. So he is thriving. We got to keep him. Kyle Madden's kind of been one of those, the rating doesn't equal the production. He's always kind of been an afterthought in our pass rush. Cliff Neal, there's our successor for DK Metcalf. He's been here. He knows the offense. He's been our wide receiver 2-ish bubble. But always kind of like DK's really our 2, you're our 3. He's got to be our 2. Close it out. Eric Thompson, linebacker. You know, we got depth at linebacker. We can bump Sexton, who's a developmental guy. We can bump him up. We can draft another linebacker. Replaceable. Aguilar is a stud. One of the better players I can remember drafting on the offensive line. And I'm not going to say I want to make... I would say I wish he was... If he was 6'5", I would be like, screw it. I'm going to pay him. I'm going to move him left tackle. He's going to take over for Charles Cross. But I like Aguilar. Anytime you draft those superstar linemen out the gate, they always kind of hold a special place in your heart. Witherspoon is a beast as well. I'd like to honestly keep him for the remainder of the rebuild. We'll get him on a 3-year deal. But it is going to be tight. I suppose in a perfect world, there's just no way. In a perfect world, we would find a way to scrounge up some couch cash to pay Charles Cross. But we can't afford it. So that means we're going to be going into year 9 and 10 to close out this rebuild with very limited salary cap. We're going to need a new wide receiver 3. We're going to need a new left tackle, which you can get tackles cheap on the open market. We've seen that a lot in the later years. So I'm optimistic we'll be able to find a cheap tackle to... Obviously, he won't be a 93, but I don't think he'll be a turnstile. We're going to need a wide receiver 3. We're going to need a new left tackle. We're going to need a new starting defensive end. And we're going to have to find ourselves a new linebacker. Going to be tough. Pretty damn impressive that we go 10-7, our worst record in a minute, and still get the NFC Championship. Offensively, awesome. Defensively, improved a little bit, but still definitely below the standards we've set the last couple years. And it's kind of crazy. We went from a year ago being like, do we pay Sam Howell? Is he falling off? He gets the closest he's been to sniffing the NFL MVP. here in year 8. Of course, DK Metcalf finds a way to win wide receiver of the year. The year we decide not to ban. We also get DB of the year going to Devin Witherspoon, which should be nice as far as getting him back up to a superstar dev. Looking at the stats, Sam Howell was second in yards, second in down year on touchdowns. But hell of a season for him. I will take that every day of the week. Kenneth Walker, another 20 bomb, running the football, 1,300 yards. DK Metcalf, 12 and 13, 1,004 for JSN, 950 and 6 from Cliff Neal. I mean, maybe there's going to be a way that we can get DK. If there was going to be something that tempts me into re-signing him, it was definitely a year like this, especially if we get a little extra bucks come the end of the season. Eric Thomas, before he hits free agency, he's been a tackle machine for us, 132 tackles, 4 TFLs, 2 picks. We got 7 sacks. Woodward. What? In what world does my fucking, pardon my French, third string linebacker? Huh. And Witherspoon. I mean, that's, again, a low bar to be winning these awards, but I'm not going to complain. I'll take it. I mean, this is what DK's done so far. 1,000 catches, almost 15,000 yards, 123 tuds. JSN's been, equally as awesome. But, DK got the mentor tag, so he's a team player. He's embracing the veteran role. I'm going to try to keep him. But in case we can't get the finances to work out, let's see if we can set him off for the Super Bowl. You saw the names we're going to be losing. We can't afford to keep. This might be our best shot at winning a Super Bowl. Winning that third one. Winning the dynasty. And it starts here up first against the 11-6 Bijan Robinson-led Atlanta Falcons, where it is a shootout. But a shootout we are able to win 38-35. And we got the Giants. I don't even need to look at their stats. I guarantee they have top 3 rushing offense because that's kind of how it works. They don't have top 3, but the rushing offense is the best part of their offense. They have got here on the back of their number 1 ranked defense. Pretty good, too, for an 85 overall. It'll be the best defense, and there you go. That's what we think of your number 1 overall defense. We'll drop almost 40 on them. This is a big one here. Chicago. I'll show respect. 14-3, real good offense, real good defense. We will auto-upgrade our players here. Make sure we put our best foot forward as the Seahawks have found a little bit of momentum here to get back into the NFC Championship game. Felt like there was a minute there, man, we're going to live in the championship game. But we've been humbled the last couple seasons with our playoff performances, and we are back to the big one. 24-20. We knock off the Chicago Bears. We get back to the Super Bowl. Sam Howell, Player of the Week. Woodward, the blitzing linebacker. We're using, what is this, 2005? And we're just blitzing the linebacker like crazy. It's working. And we are back to the Super Bowl against the Miami Dolphins. Come on now. Only tail of tape you need to know. We can't lose to a below 500 team in the Super Bowl. We cannot. We will not. Those 3 times we will come in. And those 3 times are going to be important. I never, ever want to lose to an 8-9 team in the goddamn playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl. Got the lights back on, get the webcam back on. The reason why sometimes people, I'm mixing webcam on and off. Some of it's just, I don't always need my face in these long videos. Another thing is these videos literally take me like 7 hours to make. I don't want bright lights in my face for that long. But you know who likes a bright light in their face? The Seahawks offense and Sam Howell. 2 touchdowns, 14-3. Defense showed up, hasn't given up a single. Let's go in right now. Haven't given up a single touchdown. 2 field goals. We get a touchdown here. Should put the game away. And I know who I want to try to throw this one into. DK Metcalf. I'm going to try to bring him back, but in case I can't, a Super Bowl touchdown could be a hell of a sending off. And he gets we get a little bit of an assist there from 22, smashing DK into the end zone. But there you go. Super Bowl tud. Defense has been absolutely incredible. The weak point of our team is going to pitch a touchdown shutout in the Super Bowl. A 4-0 run. Super Bowl win versus Miami. Dynasty status. Bet you didn't think we'd achieve it with Sam Howell. But we've done it, and we've done it with the core. Sam Howell, DK Metcalf, Jaxon Smith and Njigba, Kenneth Walker, Charles Cross, Devin Witherspoon, Malachi Starks, Byron Murphy. Like, you circle a big name players that you think could be pillars of something special with Seattle right now on their roster, and we kept them, we developed them, we built them together, and we've got our third ring. We still got 2 more years left to run the score up a little bit. I'm looking at this, I'm giving Sam Howell his 3rd Super Bowl MVP. The bummer is we did not get as much of a salary cap bump as I was expecting. $14.5 million, round up to 15. We got Thomas, who just went up dev trade and doubled his money that he's looking for. Yeah, right. I mean, we could keep him. I can at least try to keep him. Let's round that up. Give him a generous offer so that if he says no, it is what it is. There we go. We'll keep him. We'll do right by him. But man, oh man, oh man. We got a lot of talent leaving the building. Our best tackling player. Base rating is great. I'm not going to pick. You know what? We'll take up that option as well. That's $8 million. That's not bad. Starting tackle. Weird blitzing hybrid linebacker. Can I keep you, actually? Shit. Shit, no. Okay. That's so dumb. I mean, there's probably something that I'm missing. But literally, we went from $5 million a cap. I simmed to where we can re-sign players. Probably something, to establish a new league year. It goes up to 29.5. Let's go see if we can get one of those cheap tackles. And shout out relatively cheap tackle. Now, it's not that we haven't been drafting well. But as we go into the draft, we are going to have to draft well this time. Pressure is on, given the talent that we have seen leave the building. I'm going to say offensively, if there's a really nice wide receiver, like if this would be the year that obviously I'm going to take the time and we're going to look and see if I can find the super speed guy. I mean, I'm never not looking for those guys, but other years it's not a priority. When you've had 3 stud wide receivers, I don't need to prioritize the 10 minutes it takes to look through and try to find, if there's one of those elite speed, acceleration, agility, cheesy type players. But defensively, we're going to have to put some work in here. We need arguably 2 linebackers, 1 linebacker for sure. We need a new pass rusher, which they're probably going to get a good enough one. We're going to have to trade up. We got to find one. But the secondary can carry this team. X factors at corner and safety. 3 deep superstars everywhere else. Linebackers are not difficult to draft as long as they're available. We will find them. I'm just concerned about the pass rush. So the bummer is that we need linebacker. We need edge. No edge worth trading up for, and we're picking it at 32. So if we were ever even going to think about trading up, it would have been sabotaging the final draft of this rebuild, which is not the end of the world. But it does not help that there wasn't a lot of outside linebackers that were pass rushers in this year's draft class. It looks very strong for linebackers. Needs to be said. Durham, Wilkins, Woodyard, all good speed, good athletes. We have a right outside linebacker, a couple guys that we focused on here. Ramon Beal, there's a starter right there. Larry Stanley looks like a starter as well, but we really need a pass rusher. And this is a year where the pass rushers, maybe even the best pass rushers, are interior guys, but most of the DNs are these guys. Like, the boards obviously kind of got eaten up here, but they're all 3-4 defensive ends. Guys that are defensive tackles. Rayford here, left defensive end. We do have Porter, which is, pushing it. Blind pick. I don't know. I mean, at least he gives us a chance. Because I don't really want to burn an early pick on, what do we got here? Larry Maxwell, B tackle. That combine is dog shit. Sean Lowry. Let's see if we can blind pick a pass rusher here. Sean Lowry, a little bit better. C finesse move. Ugh. What do we have? Jaron Drescher. B tackle. Power rusher. Combine, not great. Bench press is not bad. C finesse move. A or B power move, I guess. Or we got Darren Porter. Blind pick, finesse move. At best, he has B power move. B block shed. Elite strength. B block shed, B awareness. I mean, all these guys kind of suck. I guess we go first rounder. Oh, dev trait. I mean, yeah. Even then, though, is he a great scheme fit? 291 pounds is closer to Byron Murphy than it's not. But maybe he could be like a Michael Bennett type pass rusher for us. But we will fall ass backwards into a dev trait. We'll take that. I guess that's really all I can say. He's like, if you need a tiebreaker, what I use for my tiebreaker when it's a complete crapshoot is if anyone has elite in something. I get, like, you know, it's as simple as it is, and as like not like I studied and figured that out. It's just kind of clear. But in the context of Madden, it's usually a safe bet to kind of go that direction. We got Durham here, big time athlete. I think we start with him. Oh. And I'm going to trade up because of that pick. And I'm going to give my third this year, my third next year, my fourth this year, sixth and seventh this year to go grab one of those outside linebackers that has the A's and see if we can get a better swing. So we do need 2 linebackers. So we still have on the board Ramon Beal, our first rounder. Was not going to let this guy walk. 3 A's and a B, 6'2". Combine's not the best. Like, there is also another chance this guy here does not have a dev trait, but the rating should be good. So looking at our draft recap, Darren Porter, 73. Kind of a middle of the mall pick, to be honest with you, but he's strong as shit. Got great burst, strong as shit, can tackle, but, you know, we'll see. Anytime you get a dev trait guy, you never know. Durham, 74, normal. 76 for Beal, normal. We got Sean Goodwell, the speedster. Wide receiver out of Wisconsin. Not quite like a DK Metcalf success, but hell of a player to have on the roster to build some depth. Excited for these linebackers, especially if they're both going to have great opportunities. At least one of them will. Likely we'll probably go with Beal. But that Defensive Rookie of the Year award is definitely up for grabs, which usually, especially for a normal dev, is a lock for a star dev trade. Year 9 off to a hot start. 5-1 is sitting atop the West as we look to run the score up here a little bit. Get our 4th and 5th Super Bowl of the rebuild. But when you have that success, we need to talk about, can we get 4? Can we get 5? Can we spoil ourselves? We look at our contracts, and we're $30 million in the red. And honestly, much like people that are terrible with money, I'm just going to ignore it, and hopefully it goes away. Out of sight, out of mind. We're done. We finally got to run the gauntlet as we secure the 1 seed in the NFC for the first time in this rebuild. 13-4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th straight NFC West championship. Offensively, top 5. Defensively, top 5. Salary cap should be foreclosing the franchise. Actually, look at that. No, it's up to 22. That's not bad. I don't know what that's. We got some weird numbers. We probably hired Howie Roseman trying to figure out the salary cap here a little bit. Sam Howell, a year removed from being runner-up for the MVP, still in the discussion, but fell off just a little bit. But surprised that our only award winner this year is Kenneth Walker, who's had dominance over the rest of the running backs in the NFC in this rebuild. Sam Howell finishes the season 10th in yards, 5th in touchdowns, 34 touchdowns, sorry, only 2 interceptions, 75 completion percentage. Pretty ridiculous. That's no other real way to put that. Kenneth Walker, 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns. He's been so freaking consistent throughout this rebuild. Didn't get the huge DK Metcalf season that last year might have given off the impression, but that's still not bad for an old man. 800 yards, 7 touchdowns, 8 and 6 for Neal. But JSN back on top, leading the receiving room. 94 catches, 1,300 yards with 13 touchdowns. Defensively, Drew Sexton, who is really the only big notable free agent that we're going to be losing, probably with our tight end as well. His final year here in Seattle, 137 tackles, 6 TFLs, 2 sacks, 2 picks. We get 16.5 sacks, 21 TFLs from Byron Murphy, 6 sacks from Savage, 4 from Donovan Camp, 2.5 from Porter, 2 interceptions. Wow. Interceptions have been actually very good in this rebuild. Fell off a cliff here in year 9. But just because it is going to be his last season here in Seattle, I think, anyways. Just under 1,100 receptions, 15,000 yards, 130 touchdowns for DK Metcalf. And he is tied for 6th all-time in receiving touchdowns with Chris Carter. 7th in yards, just behind Jamar Chase and Terrell Owens within reaching distance, especially if he wants to come back and play one more year. With the first round bye, we got ourselves a juicy matchup here in the divisional round against the rival 49ers. 9-8 for the Niners. They have a pretty good passing offense. Rest of the stats kind of middle of the ball. Honestly, this should be a crushing win for us. And we somehow lose. We are 5 to 6 overall points better in every category. We are the defending Super Bowl champions. And I'm still not too sure how we lost this one. Passing offense was similar. We crushed them running the football. Defensively, 3 sacks to 2. I guess they did have the 1 turnover there by old man Fred Warner, but I don't know, man. Huh. So as we look at our stats in terms of where this team is shaping up going into the final year, Kenneth Walker loses his dev trait just because he's an old man, not because of performance or production. Kind of just the nature of the beast. Porter ends up being a superstar dev, which is pretty badass. Byron Murphy goes up to superstar after a very good season. Beal and Durham both were normal devs. Great normal devs, but normal devs nonetheless. And they earn dev traits going up to star each. So if we could just ignore the salary cap and roll into next season pretty much with this team, I like our chances at getting Super Bowl ring number 4. All right, so for our final draft, I need a starting tight end, and I want one of these two. We have Aaron Woods, who's going at 16, pretty good combine, or we have John Spencer, very similar body type. Spencer's 20 pounds heavier, he's A-catching, and he's faster. This is the guy I want, and he is going at pick 16, so let's see if we can strike a deal. Sure, why not? Better be the... Oh, I can't make the... Oh, there we go. This is where it kicks us. I did not think this was going to kick our ass at any point. We just ignore the elephant in the room. We cannot make a trade because of our dire salary cap situation. Fuck. All right, so if that's the case, we'll just, kick our team needs down a little bit. We need another linebacker. That's really the 2 spots we lost. We lost starting middle linebacker. We lost starting tight end. Shane Shaw looks pretty damn good. A pursuit, A tackle, combine, elite speed. Yep, ticking a lot of boxes there. Yeah, great. No issue at all. Now I'm just going to try to find literally a somewhat capable tight end. Blind picking, that is. That guy might have the best potential stats. B catching on Reinhardt. Didn't attend the combine. That's interesting. A little bit of a bad boy, if you will. Lynn Pittman, B deep route running, B catching, C run block. Great strength, good speed. Austin Filipovich, 6'6", good frame. Okay, a lot of these all kind of suck. I guess we'll go Pittman. I don't know. I don't know. We're not gonna use our tight end much this year, I don't think. For our final draft, Shane Shaw, stud. 76 hidden dev linebacker. You love that. Rest of the draft, very forgettable. Very, very forgettable. And I really do wish we would have been able to trade up with the Saints. Oh, they didn't even end up drafting him? Who got the tight end I wanted? Woods went there, 74. Oh, my God. He went even later. John Spencer went pick 23. 75 with a hidden dev. Of course he does have a hidden dev trade. Hopefully it's just a star. And it's not like we missed a transformative player. That is the case. There we go. Year 10. This is it. Run the gauntlet. Shout out. I mean, it would be nice DK was still here. But we got Kenneth Walker, Sam Howell, JSN running the whole damn thing here. We've been able to sprinkle in some great role players along the way. Got Wilcox here at tight end. Big shoes to fill as a starter. But and also double stings that we need to maybe rely more on the tight end because there's no more DK Metcalf out there. Shout out to Aguilar, one of the better linemen we've ever drafted, almost up to the 99 club. But really happy with the offense, man. And, JSN's been really consistent. Kenneth Walker's probably been the most consistent, but the most surprising, and really the reason why we got this far, Sam Howell. Committing with Sam Howell to be the successor to Geno Smith. It worked out well. Will it work out? Will that be even the game plan in real life? I think that'd be pretty cool, to be honest with you. The defense has certainly come along. Byron Murphy has been an absolute beast as like the big focal first round real pick of this rebuild. Our linebacking core is sick. Our front seven, one of the better front sevens in the NFL. Our secondary has been consistently the best secondary in the NFL on paper. Now our rankings haven't really backed that up, but Barber, Starks, Pendleton, June, Witherspoon still here. We had Tariq Woolen. All those guys have crushed it. Legion of Boom 2.0 achieved successfully. But now it's all about this team putting together for one last run at one more Super Bowl. And we close out Year 10 with our 7th NFC West title of the rebuild. But unfortunately, we got to run the gauntlet. You know what? Our team's better when we got to run the gauntlet. Our 3 Super Bowls have all been 4-0 runs. And we got a really, really tough matchup here against the Philadelphia Eagles to start this one off. Sam Howell, close but no cigar. 2 times he's been runner-up for the MVP. Was our only award winner, winning quarterback of the year in the NFC. 5th in yards, 1st in passing touchdowns. That will do it. And only 2 interceptions. An insane season from Sam Howell. 13 and 14 from Kenneth Walker. Beast. 14 and 15 from Jaxon, Smith, and Njigba. 9 and 8 for Sean Goodwell. Almost 900 yards, 4 tutties for Neal. Wilcox at tight end. Pretty serviceable again. I think it needs to be said, tight end's one of those, like, obviously you don't want bad tight ends, but like this was like a 72 normal. I feel like a lot of the tight end production is like scheme-based. It's almost right out there with slots. If you have an offense that like the slot wide receiver eats, almost doesn't matter who you put there. And I almost feel like that's the same. If you have a system that the tight end will get good stat lines, almost doesn't really matter if you have a stud or not. Defensively, Durham on the team, 127 tackles, 3 interceptions for his first year as the green dot wearer on the defense. Pretty damn productive. 8 sacks from Murphy, 8 sacks from Camp, 4 from Savage, 2.5 from Porter. 3 picks. Durham led the team, 2 from Devin Witherspoon. Looking at what we've accomplished here in the rebuild, we got ourselves 45,000 yards passing from Sam Howell, 374 touchdowns to 78 picks. Hall of Famer, you know, I think so. Got what, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 Super Bowls, numbers that are good enough. So what a story he's been able to tell. Kenneth Walker has crushed it, almost 17,000 yards, 193 touchdowns, which gives Kenneth Walker 5th all-time in rushing yards, passing Walter Payton this season, and Christian McCaffrey, and Frank Gore. It puts him 6 behind Jonathan Taylor for the all-time lead in rushing touchdowns. But overall, man, what a beast Kenneth Walker was this rebuild. JSN, which we'll get to in just 1 second, did make also the short list for receiving touchdowns all time, making top 10. We're on top of his 127 touchdowns. He has over 13,000 yards, just under 8,000 total catches. Neal's been a solid role player for us as well. On the defensive side of the ball, Devin Witherspoon just under 1,000 tackles with 25 interceptions. We have 90 sacks, 154 TFLs for Byron Murphy. Those are outstanding numbers for a defensive tackle. Malachi Starks with 12 picks. Pendleton with 11. June with 5. These guys have been here for a minute. And part of our Legion of Boom 2.0. All in all, really, really happy with these numbers this season. So first round, we get the 9 and 8 Philadelphia Eagles. Tough opponent, but the Seahawks have always kind of found a way to own the Eagles. And we're able to get one more win over them, 20-17, with a Player of the Week performance from Sam Howell. Almost 350 yards, 3 total touchdowns. Almost 400, actually, including the yards on the ground. Kind of interesting, too, in Cleveland, the Colorado Buffalo duo. Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter have reunited. Next up in the division round, we have the Green Bay Packers. Very good team. 92 offense, 90 base overall. We'll give them respect. We'll upgrade our players. It's going to be a tough one. Tough assignment. Never easy. Probably one of the more annoying teams. Underrated annoying team that we don't talk about. You talk about Dallas. You talk about Philly. You talk about Atlanta. I think Green Bay's up there. They make the playoffs a lot. They're one of the tougher teams you run into a lot, especially late game. Damn. I mean, we already achieved dynasty status. But, I mean, that game wasn't even particularly close. It was 28-0. Brutal. Very brutal. But all in all, what we've accomplished here, over 10 seasons for the Seattle Seahawks, achieving dynasty status with Sam Howell, with the uncertainty around their quarterback room from where we started year 1 to the team that we've been able to build, grow, develop, maintain. Definitely going to go down as one of our more successful rebuilds here in the Madden 24 cycle. So I hope you guys did enjoy Don't know how many more of these rebuilds we got in us before the new game, the new game, you know what I'm saying, drops, but might have another rebuild or two left in us. So if there's a team we've yet to give a 10-year rebuild that you really, really want to see, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see what I can do. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're getting very close to 170,000 subscribers here on the channel. Would love to hit that. Would love to hit, honestly, 175K before Madden drops. That gives us a nice 5,000 new sub buffer for college football 25. But I'd love to hit 170 before even that game drops. So if we can hit that, and it's your first time stopping by, and you enjoy what you saw, you want to see my content in the new football world that is coming this summer, hit that subscribe button. For everyone else that has loved to support and showed all the likes, all the YouTube algorithm stuff on all my videos this season, I very, very much appreciate it. Excited for what the future holds. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya, have a good one.